Hi, Joe Outram here, and my topic today is titled Changing Your Financial Outlook with the Proper Money Mindset. Now, if you look at the profiles of wealthy people, you will find that they have a different mindset than others. They know the value of money and they know the fundamental factors of making their money grow. Now, if you're not yet wealthy and feel like that you are struggling, take some tips from these wealthy people. An age-old idiom of money is to use compound interest and to use it in your favour. Now, Benjamin Franklin was reportedly a big proponent of this principle, and you know what? He was quite wealthy for his time, so he likely knew what he was talking about. But whether that was true or not, this concept of compound interest, it just makes perfect sense. And what am I talking about when I say compound interest? Well, it is quite simply how you, over time, earn interest on your interest. So here's a quick example of what I mean. If you invest £100 and earn 10% per annum interest, then you have £110 after 1 year. If the interest rate remains the same at 10% per annum, in year 2 you earn interest on not just the £100 principal sum that you invested, but also on the £10 interest that you earned in the first year. So it's a win-win situation. And you know what, when your money grows on its own and the money that you earn ends up growing as well, it's only a matter of time when this is going to amount to a decent sum of money. And if you keep adding to the balance, that money will also grow along with it. Now, the situation is a little bit more complicated today than in Benjamin Franklin's time, because we've got the government taxing the growth of our money. But you know what, if you're in the USA, then you can invest in things like an IRA or a 401k and have the tax deferred until some future period. And in the UK, we've got pension plans and ISA accounts, which are tax efficient investment vehicles. And speaking of taxes, make sure that you work with a qualified accountant and a financial planner to ensure you pay the least amount of taxes possible. Now, you can, of course, do some work on your own with basic knowledge, but once you start accumulating wealth, then you need to be looking to bringing on board some advisors. You know, wealthy people, they use the experts. Another principle wealthy people adhere to is creating multiple income streams. The more income streams you have working for you, the quicker you will become wealthy. And when you have multiple income streams, you know, you can pump up the ones that are performing well and dump the ones that aren't working for you or that aren't working as well. Then, when you are financially well off, make sure you never touch the principal. And by the principal, I'm talking about the lump sum of money that you have available to invest. And you need to set that principal to earn set it up so it's going to earn the most it can achieve, and then you live only within the means of the earnings out of that money, or you know, potentially you've got other earnings as well. And out of those other earnings, you can top up that principal from time to time as well as it grows, but you never tap into it. Now, if you find you've got shortfalls in your cash flow, you need to consider taking on some temporary work or finding other ways to bring money in, because once that principal is gone, you know, it's gone for good. And then the final tip is to stay out of debt as much as possible. The debt will drain your savings and your investment or savings portfolio. And of course, there can be clever uses of debt, as you know, as long as you're using that, the use of that debt brings in more money than the actual debt itself. But for most debt, you need to avoid it to keep your financial outlook stable. So to summarise what I've just quickly said there: 1, make use of compound interest. 2, use tax efficient vehicles to grow your wealth where appropriate. 3 is to use experts such as qualified accountants and financial advisors to help you manage your money. And then 4, once you have accumulated a principal sum to invest, never dip into it, just add to it. And 5, if debt is essential to your plans, then keep it to a minimum. Have it if you must, but keep it to a minimum. Now, if you're sat there and you're thinking, well, that's great, Jo, but I have loads of consumer debt and I have no savings, so how is this going to help me? Well, my answer to you is this. Make a plan to start saving, even if it's just £1 a week, but you start. Then every 90 days, increase the level of your savings by 10%. So if you start by investing, say, £10 per month for 3 months, you do it every month for 3 months, you then increase it to £11, because that's a 10% add-on, and you do that for the next 3 months, and then so on and so on. And in addition, you make a plan to eliminate your debt, and eliminate it as soon as possible. Then as your debt diminishes and your savings grow, you can start to take advantage of all the tips that I have shared with you today. So that's it from me. Until next time.